Hello, I'm AppyX Toycat, and welcome back to Store Saturday, the weekly series where we check out Minecraft store content and let you know if it is worth checking out. And a lot of people have been recommending this brand new Let's Play World thing that launched recently, and it does seem to be popular. It has a 4.9 star review, and it is just 490 Minecoins for the next few days, so sure, let's give it a purchase. I can't say I understand entirely what's meant to be going on here. I mean, looking at these images, it's like, okay, there's a house, you like sugarcane, also the Nether doesn't look normal. The end seems to be laminated, and what is even going on with this desert? There's a lot of confusing things going on with this map, but let's see what it's really like and let you know if it is any good. So the absolutely massive download is finally complete. It was apparently 8 years worth of work, so I'm looking forward to something special. I mean, this is one of the longest maps in development, you could say, so I'm excited to see what they did with it. So this is apparently the Toycat Let's Play World. I mean, I guess I can see the cat part of the Toycat, but where's the Toy? I don't see it at all. This is a very misleadingly named world. Also, you know, for 8 years, there sure is a lot of natural terrain. I can see a forest, I can see a swamp, I can see a spruce tiger forest over there. You know what, we sure are lacking. Anyway, so what's going on here? Let's read some signs and find out. You know what, this is too many signs. I can't deal with all of this. Instead, we're just gonna go in the chests and we're gonna grab some goodies, some elytra, some saddle in case we find something, a boat for at the end. You know what, let's just grab all this stuff and let's go on a little adventure, shall we? I think it's pretty stingy that he only gave out, you know, like diamond armor. Like, what was this map made in, like, you know, 2010 or something? Like, is diamond the best set of stuff in the game? Or was there maybe something he forgot about? I think there was maybe something he forgot about there, but that's fine. And also a Bane of Arthropods sword. He really does. You know, this map claims to have taken 8 years, but I reckon this Bane of Arthropods shows they don't put the minorest bit of attention to detail in here. Also, there seems to be a random bonus chest up here still, which you'd figure after 8 years you might have looked into destroying the bonus chest or at least removing it, but no, they couldn't even do that. But it's fine, you know, let's not judge it too much based on that. Let's grab some food, let's grab a book, and let's grab some compasses, I guess. So this book is meant to explain everything going on in the world, but I mean, like, come on, man, you can't expect anyone to read 9 pages of what's going on here. No one has that much time. You know, what's even the point of having a 9-page book? That was just objectively a bad decision. Let's just throw that away, and let's see what's going on for ourselves, shall we? So, this is kind of, it sounds like, based on the half a page I did read, meant to be like a monument, the results of 8 years worth of playing. So, let's see what those 8 years really look like, because immediately the first thing you see is this, a dirt shack. So, eight years into Minecraft, 8 years in, and you're still using a dirt shack as the closest house to spawn. And not only is it a dirt shack, but it doesn't have a bed. It just has a furnace, a crafting table, and 2 double chests. Is this a joke right now? Oh, there's a lot more than 2 furnaces. As it turns out, there is a substantial number. There's also a sheep in here, but you know what, that's... and there's also another chest around the corner that I didn't know about till just now. But like, come on, I mean, 8 years and you're telling me this is what the result is? I don't think those 8 years were spent very well, if I'm being honest. I think there must have been some multi-years gaps in there to explain this. But you know, that's not the only thing that we see. Let's be less judgmental. Let's go to what's clearly the center point, this house right here. And as a connoisseur, I can tell you, wow, this house is great. It's like a cube with a triangle on top. I bet this is some grand point about symbolism they're making right here. Oh, actually, there is a chest that says Ender Chest and Inventory. Oh, these are the things that would be, in the inventory. And these things would be in the Ender Chest. Do you want to see my outdated Ender Chest? I bet you do. So anyway, this is what it looks like on the inside of the house itself. It is, let's be honest, it's a little bit cluttered. It's more than a little bit cluttered, I would go as far as to say. It looks like maybe there was some grand, you know, organizing of the chests, perhaps. It does look like that has happened at some point. I don't know how I can tell, but I definitely can just tell that there's clearly some amount of organization of these chests, but there's just so many of them. I mean, why do you even need a map chest? What is that all about? Who needs a map chest? And why do you need so many of these maps of just the Nether? It seems like the attention to detail here was really lacking. I mean, if this is a product people are meant to be buying, why are you giving them a chest full of maps that point to treasures? on the opposite sides of the world. It just doesn't seem so smart in my opinion. So yeah, the second floor, same problem. It's got some diamond gear. Don't you know Netherite has existed for a while now? Are you stuck living in 2018? Did this world release 2 years ago or did it release today? I think it released today. Why are you giving me diamond stuff? I don't want diamond. I want Netherite. And then finally, we've got this attic where, you know, actually living in an attic is a really cool thing. Anyone who says that living in an attic isn't cool isn't a thing. But otherwise, you know what? It's still a little bit of a lacking house in my opinion. It seems like it, you know, if this is meant to be the center point, then I'm disappointed about everything else around here. Speaking of everything else, there seems to be these little doors that lead to something called Lost Woods. And you know what? Apparently you're not meant to record those on video, so I guess we'll never know what's inside there. But what we will know is we'll know over here, as you can see, there's a lighthouse, a bed, and a cat statue. Do we go towards those things, or are those the edge of the world? See, there's just no clear labeling of where to go. There's just roads, but where do the roads take me, damn it? Where do the roads take me? The roads take me to a statue of a guardian, a really well-made statue of a guardian that tells me to go back. But it also points me to this monstrosity. What is this meant to be? Why is it all made of wood, but yet there are trees on the inside? What were they trying to go for right there? I can't tell in the slightest by looking at it. I think it's absolutely atrocious. But I think it pales in comparison to this. Look at this. This is a firework rocket. I think, you know, as far as pixel art firework rockets goes, it's fine. Probably bizarre, it doesn't fit with the rest of the world around here, but sure. But then behind the pixel art firework rocket, there's just a 3D art firework rocket. Make your mind up. Is it a firework house where clearly there's some firework things going on that you haven't updated since 2015? Is it a also, you know what, look at that. There's just a block. There's 2 blocks missing. This is beyond lazy. But you know, you look at it and it's like, is this a firework house, or is there a 2D firework in front of it? You don't need to have both. Also, the firework stems are pointing the opposite ways. There's just that, like, immediately, like, this is one of the first things. It's just around the spawn, and you mess that up. You know, makes you think, if they messed up this, what else is going on wrong under the surface? Because I mean, again, if we look over at this mega you know, blast furnace room, you can see that, like, there is a fun idea here, like a way to cook meat and have it be automatically collected, but it looks like it hasn't been used in a very long time because only apples have ended up in the chest over here, which doesn't make any sense. Why was he trying to cook apples anyway? How did they end up in the cooked items chest? How is there coal in there and redstone ore, but not a single cooked item? Like, are you cooking your food correctly, Mr. Toy Cat? Also, speaking of which, there's this massive item sort we can see right here. Do you know what I find even more ridiculous? There's this entire massive multi-hopper system. It's a really useful little tool, I'm not gonna doubt that. But they use this really useful tool for automatic ore smelting, and then they don't even label the rest of the furnaces. I mean, there are so many more elegant ways to do this that they could have done, and yet they chose not to. I just feel like if this is meant to be a great world to play around in, to look at, to tour, or maybe to extend as your own, I just feel like that's something that you would change. Speaking of things that you would change, this, I mean, like, if you look at it, it's clearly meant to have stairs all the way around, but over here, there's just some not stairs blocks, and did they think no one would notice? Did they think that's how texture gets added? Because it's not. It's disgusting, it's filthy, and you know what? A netherrack roof isn't even a good idea. Speaking of things that aren't a good idea, you can see right here that he clearly tried to plant a forest, but minus the leaves. And it's like, come on, man. We're not all idiots. We've seen a tree before. We know they're meant to have leaves. If you're gonna plant one down, you're gonna try and make it look realistic, at least have the effort, the common decency to my understanding of what shrubbery is, and just add the leaves on top. Because right now, it's just loads of wood pieces sticking out from the ground in a way that just makes no sense to me. Speaking of things that make no sense to me, the one rule for this world is meant to be that you follow the roads until they take you to places, but this road just kind of ends here. It just ends in the middle of nothingness in a valley of mushrooms as well as warped fungus and crimson fungus. Like, what What am I meant to take from this? Where am I meant to go? I mean, I can see that sugarcane farm, which, let's be honest, do you need that much sugarcane? It seems like, you know, maybe they misunderstand the idea of sugarcane farming, because once you have, like, even just a couple layers of that would be more enough sugarcane needs for someone's wants. And it goes up, it looks like, to a couple hundred blocks. So they have too much need for sugarcane, not enough need for directions. You know, maybe if instead of farming sugarcane all day, they just spent, you know, a few minutes looking up how to build, maybe they'd have a, you know, slightly more compelling world. Because right now, I have to say, this is a mess. This is a mess that I can't recommend to anyone, but we'll go to sleep and we'll see it fresh with our morning eyes. Yeah, maybe it was like, you know, it's just nighttime. Maybe this is the good bit of the world. Now I've gone off the beaten path. I can start to see the exciting, unique things like, oh, that is a lot of bamboo. Oh, and that is a lot of, is that a wheat farm? I'm starting to think, I'm starting to get the impression that they have a strong desire for farming in Minecraft, and they like to make their farms to insanely high levels. I don't know if that's a particularly smart thing to do. I'm gonna go even further and say, yeah, you don't need to farm this much, dude. Just have 1 or 2 or 3, 4 of these layers. Like this is more than enough potatoes. This is too many potatoes, in fact. This is more than enough carrots. Why do you need to have a wheat farm going to sky high? You had, you know, again, if you did just spend a few of those minutes working on the other details here, such as this land, why is there not a single detail here? Actually, wait, there is a single detail over here. How is it that you spent clearly like days working on that, but at the same time, the only thing you can build in this giant flat land that'd be perfect for any form of build is, oh, actually, there's something else. It's not just the 7 pieces of dirt. What a beauty, by the way. But it's also this. You know, I'm beginning to think that the person who played, you know, like, they claim they built this over 8 years. I'm beginning to think that they haven't played Minecraft very much, because I think they looked up a tutorial on how to build a Nether portal, and they got something just a bit wrong with that. I can't work out what, but just something feels a bit wrong about this portal. Am I wrong about? Now that's probably correct. Maybe I'm being too harsh now. I think I'm not really trying to criticize, but I think that is how you build a Nether portal, so my bad. Continuing onwards, we have a farm for cocoa beans that is beyond what anyone would probably need. Again, you know, maybe something should be worked on here. Maybe this is actually a cry for help, this entire world. Maybe they just say, you know, I just want to live a simple farming life. They're an anarcho-primitivist, and they just think that life would be simpler if we just farmed all day. Because I don't see how they can spend what is clearly hours of time chopping down jungle wood to get some cocoa beans on, but then when they're building, you know, lovely things like houses, they build something like this. Look at this. This is a house, supposedly, but the staircase in seems to be made of, I wish I was making this up, but the staircase in is made from cake. That is correct. There is a cake staircase to get into this thing. Do we have to press the button, or do we have to, what do we have to do around here? How do we get inside of this? There's just a note block in front of the house? What am I meant to assume from any of this? Anyway, let's try and get inside, shall we? They kind of messed up here without eating that cake fully, huh? Yeah, this isn't how cake staircases work. I think this is a pretty fundamental flaw in the entire, oh god. I think they made a pretty basic flaw in this. You know what? This house was made by a paranoid madman, if you ask me. I think that this was an absolute, oh, and there's a music disc for Lena Raine's Pig Step in here. Oh, actually, you know, there's some compasses we could go towards. That's something we should perhaps do. You know what? No, I don't need a compass to guide me. I'm going to keep on looking around at the houses, if you can even call this a house. Also, did you hear that? There was some note blocks down there. Is there a cow? Maybe having some... It's my skeleton horse. Okay, that's nice. As I look around this world more and more, I just see a lack of consistent theming. Like, what is this meant to be? Is this meant to be a realistic world of oil rigs and cities? Or is this meant to be a fun, whimsical world where, for some reason, 400 is written in cakes? You know, that's not even the funny number. It's meant to be 420, you idiot. But you look around, you see like, ooh, it's a medieval wall. And then next to that medieval wall, it's just this. It's 3 walls, so it's like a set for filming, maybe? You know, it's just impossible to get a feel for what they think the world is meant to be. It's impossible to, you know, to understand any of what's meant to be going on here, because it's just too consistently all over the place. If you want a consistent world that's going to be fun to play in because you put your own mark on it. You just can't do that in a world like this. This has had its mark being placed on it so many times in so many ways. Like, what is this village? Why would you ever build a village and deliberately mess up the stairs? Like, I just don't think he understands the fundamentals of building. Look at this. And yet this is, like, you know, at the same time we have giant fantasy castles on the hill. At the same time we have big boats and this half Death Star over here. The whole world is filled with conflicting visions, and the craziest bit is that this is just within the the world borders. There are all 3 of these compasses we haven't been towards because you know what? Oh, you think I'm gonna go to a place just because you recommend it? No, that's not what I'm gonna do. Instead, what I'm gonna say is this map, this world, it's so terrible that I can't recommend it to anyone. Even though it's discounted for the next 3 days, and after that it'll go up to the full price, even in spite of that fact, I can say wholeheartedly, you'll have no fun playing this map, you will regret it, and you should not do so. There is no value to be had whatsoever. It's terrible, and honestly, I don't think this should exist at all. I think the person that's behind this should take a long, hard look in the mirror and consider maybe getting some help for that, because this isn't how deserts work. I don't think they understand that it's meant to have sand, not torches. They're very different blocks. It just seems, sometimes it just seems like they misunderstand that, villages aren't meant to be in swamps. They misunderstand the fundamental principles of Minecraft, and I'd love to explain to them how they're wrong sometime. But you know what? Instead, what I'll do is I'll say, thank you for watching this delightful map review. You've seen most of the builds in the normal square, but there is so much more in every direction. Like, if we get off and just fly, you can see that, like, back here, okay, behind this mountain, clearly missing an understanding of how mountains work. If we go back this way, you'll be able to see, like, oh yeah, the Nether Fortress that was entirely mined and then rebuilt into an overworld structure, or the turtle farm, or the the big cave that is made from nether brick, or here's where I got my guardians from. And there's lots of things in this world you can see that are outside of this. If you want to see all of those things, you can either watch a world tour or you can download it for yourself. But I recommend against it. I think this map is terrible, and no one in their right mind should download it. But if you want to not do that, there'll be a link in the description. Again, a portion of each sale. That's just bad. That's just bad stronghold design. A portion of every sale does in fact go to the channel if you feel like supporting it. So with that said, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, because I'll see you all in the next one. Good cat.